He says he loves me as long as the day is right.
Hi guys, welcome back to Gloss and Sparkle. So what I have for you today is a midi ring tutorial. Now I was very hesitant to do this video just because there are so many midi ring tutorials out there, but apparently you guys wanted to see it because it was highly requested. Now I showed you these in my last video. Here are my midi rings that I made, and they're both made exactly the same, so I'm going to show you the technique that I used. And I wanted to do a special shout out to all of those who requested this video. So to Rachel Salas, Melanie Gamble, Sarah Babe 74, Delaney Fisher, Stacia Roberts, and Belinda Sowerby, thank you very much for requesting this video. So I really hope that all of you enjoy it. Okay, here are all the materials you're going to need for this project. You're going to need some glue. I'm going to be using E6000 glue, but you could just as easily use a hot glue gun for this project, which is what I did for my original midi rings, but I also like this and I know it works really well, so I'm going to use this. And then some needle nose pliers, some head pins. Now, if you don't know what head pins are, they're just little pieces of wire, basically with a pin head at the top. And this one I believe is 20 gauge wire, and it's 2 inches long, and you can get these at any craft store, and they come in little packages of 10 or 12 for around $1, very inexpensive. Then you're going to need one single bead. I'm going to choose one out of here, and then something that is similar to a mandrill, but if you don't have a mandrill, you could use a pen, just something to make the shape of your finger. And since we're doing a midi ring, which is up at the top of your finger where it's smaller, you're going to need something fairly small, and for me a pen works just great. So to start off this project, what you're going to do is take your pen. Now I've taken the cap off just to make it a little bit easier to work with. You're going to take your head pin, and you're just going to take the pin head, put it up against the pen, put your thumb over it, and just start wrapping it around. Just slightly. Now I've just made a little slight curve there. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my bead that I've chosen onto my head pin. And make sure that it slides all the way down to the bottom. If you find that you've curved it a little too much, just unwrap it a little bit. Now it's on there, and it stopped at the head, the pin head. So now put it back onto your fake mandrill, your pen, and put your thumb over it. Just start wrapping yet again. Start wrapping it around the pen. And you want to stop when you've got just a little bit left sticking up. Just like that. So now, take your pen out, and you're going to have something that looks like this. Now that you've done that, you want to just try sizing it out. Depending on what finger you want to put it on, just see what works. Now, the pen may be a little bit small, so in that case, what you want to do is take your needle nose pliers, put them inside your circle, and just kind of stretch it out a little bit, and it kind of gives you a little bit of your length back into the bead. So now, or into your pin. So now just try sizing it depending on what finger you want to put it on. I think this one's going to work best for my pinky. Probably right around there. You're starting to get an idea of what your ring is going to look like. Okay, so I'm good with that. So now what you're going to do is take your needle nose pliers. It's very important to not make this step too long and try to maneuver it too much, because these needle nose pliers can actually start making dents in your metal, and you don't want that because you don't want it to look all choppy and messed up. So if you can, just try to make this as smooth as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the end and you're going to curve it up like that. Curve it up. Then just close that little area. Can you see? Just try to close it. And if you want, you can continue it a little bit further, sticking that in there and just curving it a little bit more. A little bit more, so that you're making a loop, like so. And then what you're going to do is just stretch it out a little bit more. And once you are happy with the shape and the look of it, just kind of curve it to your finger and see what works. Alright, so now what you're going to do is scooch that little bead over, and you're going to want to take your glue, whether your hot glue gun or your E6000. Now this dries clear, and you just want to squeeze out the tiniest amount. And I'm just covering that entire head pin. And then all I'm going to do is scooch my bead right into that glue and hold it tight. And then once I feel that it's secure, I'll just kind of wipe my finger all around it to make sure that glue is evenly distributed. And like I said, this dries clear, so you don't have to worry about it looking goopy or drying white. But you want to let this dry overnight, at least, to allow that glue to dry. And what that's going to do is hold that bead right in place. So then what you'll end up with is something like this one that I made. This is actually the exact same bead, and it's going to look something like this. And here's the other one. There you have it. So that is it, guys. That is how simple it is to make these midi rings, and they're very inexpensive, so I hope you get a chance to try it out. And if you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more tutorials in the future, DIYs for that matter, please give this video a big thumbs up. And I would like to thank everyone else who subscribes to this channel, to Gloss and Sparkle, and I hope you have a great week. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye!